One thing about politicians, guys, across the board, there's always going to be rules for thee, but not for me. And that's politicians across all spectrums of the aisles, guys. They claim to represent the downtrodden, the poor, people that need the most. However, they benefit and carry themselves as elitists throughout our society and need to be coddled and taken care of with public funds paid for by the taxpayer. But then they'll turn around and tell you that you don't need those funds. Okay? That is what's going on with the defund the police movement. The same people that want to defund the police and cut the budgets are the ones that's going to call them first as soon as anything happens, whether or not their lives are actually in danger. If they just feel the least little bit of threat, they're going to be the first ones calling 911. But they'll tell you that you don't need the police and that there's too much of a police presence in your neighborhood. But before we get in that, my name is Greg Foreman and you're watching a Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective, aka a far leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. So some news out of Portland, Oregon. A Portland City Commissioner pushing to defund the police called 911 over a Lyft ride. And this is from the New York Post. A Portland politician pushing to defund the police, claiming that most calls are not real crimes, recently called 911 herself over an argument with a Lyft driver who refused to close his window. City Commissioner Jo Ann Hardesty, who also oversees Oregon's emergency dispatch system, has repeatedly campaigned to cut police budgets and shift money elsewhere, arguing that the force is inundated with unnecessary calls that don't involve crimes, according to the Oregon. Now, we do have audio of the 911 call. Let's take a listen at exactly what happened.
What's your emergency?
Well, I got a Lyft driver that decided he would just drop me off at a filling station and he wants me to get out, and I'm not getting out of the car in the dark at a filling station. Not happening. All because I asked him to put the window up, but I'm not leaving. He says I have to get out of his car, or he's calling the police, so I decided to call for him.
Okay. I mean, technically it's his property and you have a civil agreement. There's no crimes involved.
Well, he said he was calling the cops. I told him he's not going to leave me.
It's not a crime to call the cops.
Well,
I mean, I could have the officer. What was that?
I said I am not going to allow him to leave me on the side of the road. I paid for a ride, and he canceled it. He says he canceled it. So I'm just going to sit here until he sends me another ride. So.
Do you understand that only you can order another ride?
Well, I didn't cancel the ride. He canceled the ride.
Right. Which is his obligation as a human being on the face of the earth to cancel a contract like that. It's not a crime.
Well,
that's part of your user license agreement when you accept taking rides with strangers. So I can have an officer come out, but they're not going to be able to make him stay there.
Well, I mean, he can't go anywhere because I'm not moving until another car comes. So.
All right. Well, if officers come out.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I've got a customer that I canceled the ride. I'm a rideshare driver, and I canceled the ride, and I'm taking her off the freeway to the filling station so that she can order another ride. I canceled the ride, so she's no longer, involved or engaged with me. She's refusing to get out of my car.
Okay.
So I just need somebody to tell her she can't. She's happy to get another ride. She can perfectly do that.
Yeah.
Get another driver, but she's refusing to do that.
And she's in your car now. Are you in there with her?
Yeah. I'm just sitting in my front seat. She's in the back seat. I can step out of the vehicle if she'd like me to do that.
Oh, no, that's okay. And she's already called us. Is that right?
Yeah, she called.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a call entered, and Richfield police officer is dispatched to the call as of right now. Unless they get diverted for another emergency or whatnot, they should be coming to you. Does she have any weapons or anything like that on her?
I doubt it.
Okay. All right, and she hasn't been violent or anything like that, right?
No, she's just refusing to get out of the car.
Okay. Looks like they are driving there to you now. If anything changes before they get there, I want you to give us a call back, okay?
Okay, thank you very much, officer.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, you heard it there, guys. So basically, that is both sides of the 911 call from the passenger, and then the other side of it from the driver. Now, Miss Jo Ann Hardesty, the woman that called 911, last week she called for an $18 million cut last Thursday, 4 days after she dialed 911 over a rideshare driver who was following Lyft's coronavirus safety guidelines to keep a window open. Now, the police was dispatched to the scene to take care of the incident because it's not a crime. And when the two officers arrived, finally in a squad car, the city commissioner got out of the Lyft and into another rideshare car that pulled up at the same time as the officers. Hardesty later told the Portland Tribune that she proactively called police because as a black woman, she feared having officers call on her and it would put me in danger. Quote, I don't call 911 lightly. That is obviously a lie. You just called them for the really stupidest reason ever. But I am certain I am not going to do anything that would put my personal safety at risk. She said, it's a lot harder when you're black or brown in America to make that decision. Quote, I am very aware of how unsafe it is for a single woman to be traveling anywhere, especially in this very racially tense time. People recognize me everywhere. I just was not going to take that chance. However, Richard Frost, who is 63, and the driver, told the paper that Hardesty, quote, wasn't happy as soon as he picked her up at a casino Sunday night and flipped when he refused to fully close his window despite him telling her it's for my safety and for your safety. Quote, but that was like pouring gas on her fire, Frost told the paper. Quote, she demanded that I close that window right now. She was kind of ballistic at that point. And then after that, he decided to cancel the ride. And essentially, after he decided to cancel the ride, she said, you know what? I'm not getting out of the car. She refused to get out of the car. And basically stating that, quote, I'm not getting out of the car in the dark at a filling station. Not happening. All because I asked him to put the window up. I'm not leaving. All right. So I think we have enough information here for me to give you guys my opinion on this. So there are obviously multiple levels of hypocrisy from this city council member on multiple levels, right? One is the fact that obviously you called to defund the police because you felt that police were spending most of their time handling frivolous events, like things that are not crimes, things that are not serious and dangerous. But yet you use those same police to protect yourself in a situation that was not serious, in which you were not in any imminent danger, right? Being dropped off at a gas station, I get it at night. As a woman, I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, it's not like you're being held at gunpoint or there's some type of crime going on or there's some violence being committed against you. This is something where you call them because you didn't want to follow the rules of being in a Lyft. Now, I drove Uber when I was in college, so I'm familiar with some of the rules, and I still get the app updates from the rules. So I open up my Uber driver app to see, to read the rules and stuff. And the Lyft driver is right. They do require that you roll down the back window as a safety precaution for COVID. And again, as a politician, I would imagine, since you're on the left, that you are advocating for people to wear masks so they don't get COVID, right? Or maybe you're not, because your whole city's up in flames. You got people protesting in the street every night over who knows what. But anyways, I would imagine that you want to protect people from COVID. So not only are you a hypocrite for calling to defund the police and then calling them for something stupid, you're also a hypocrite because you didn't care about your life or the life of the Lyft driver who was driving you home or wherever he was driving you, because obviously you didn't want to follow the instructions and the safety demands that you signed up for, that you agreed with when you decided to get in a vehicle with a stranger. You have to follow the rules. And the funniest part about all this is that as soon as she gets caught on her BS, the first thing she does, like they all do, is pull out the victimhood card.
Well, I'm a black woman. And as a black woman, I can't be out here at the gas station alone at night. And I also couldn't risk the Uber driver calling the police on me. So I had to call the police first, because as a black woman, who knows what might happen to me? I'm such a victim. And even though I'm trying to defend the police, as a black woman, I have to make sure they're reserved for me, no matter what. Nobody gets the police except me, because I'm a black woman and I'm a victim.
And this is what they do. This is what they do. As soon as you're confronted on your blatant hypocrisy, they pull the victim card. I'm not surprised to see stuff like this. It's the same thing that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they passed measures to get the process started of defunding the police. And then all of a sudden, 2 to 3 months later, the council members are like,
where the police at? Where the police at? We need more police. There's kids being killed in my district. 17-year-olds are being shot and killed in my district. I can't stand this. We need the police.
Well, you're taking all the sources away from the police. Again, this is the exact type of stuff that, as a politician, she campaigned against and cited as evidence for why you don't need the police. This is the exact situation. So if you would get your way and you actually cut the police, in that situation, you would have been stuck. You would not have had any police. If you had your way in that situation, you would not have had any police come and make you feel safe in that situation. Now, again, if she wasn't calling to defund the police, really would not have a problem with her wanting the police to be there with her while she gets another ride. I have no problem with that. But at the same time, if you're not going to follow the rules of the Lyft, then you got to get the hell out. You really do. As independent contractors with Lyft drivers and Uber drivers, a lot of people try to run over those people. They try to take advantage of the rules. They try to do things that, are not necessarily safe in those rides. And they put a lot of pressure on the drivers. And a lot of those people are driving because they're looking for extra funds. They want to feed their family, want to feed their kids. So they've been put in a very unfair situation. And they're independent contractors. So I'm going to side with the Lyft and the Uber driver on this, just based off that. Them being in an unfair situation. Again, this is just another hypocrite, another corrupt politician that don't really know what she's doing, don't really belong in politics. She's wholly involved with it, and she used it to her advantage, but tried to take it away from the average person, taking away from those who actually really need it the most, because she felt like she was in danger. What about all those other people that are in danger, that are in real danger, that live in these dangerous neighborhoods that you're trying to take the police out of? Again, these politicians don't care about you. They only care about themselves. So, that's the moral of the story. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.